Hi everyone, welcome to the 6th episode of Flesh and Blood and Budget. So last week we reached yet another finals, but we came short to the Florian player. Florian is a really bad matchup. I thought I would be in the disadvantage in the matchup, but I didn't thought to get outvalued that hard and to lose that hard. And we couldn't also do the last-ditch effort play since he was keeping the purgatory for late game, and that just disabled the last-ditch effort. I probably need to rethink what to do in that matchup, if we can even do something about it. So I went back and checked our budget, how much we had. I discovered some math mistakes I did and some errors. I'm going to fix that all, and I think I'm going to be publishing something like an Excel for everyone to look at the budget if they want to follow, and if they want to create out their own deck with following the receipt of this deck, and also going to publish the FaB link. I think I finally got approved by YouTube, so I can finally post links freely in the description. So thank you for your support and enjoy the episode. And just one more thing, this episode I honestly tried better to get a better quality for everything. So I really hope you all enjoy it and notice the quality difference. The glare is a bit difficult because it depends on where am I sitting, since I can't just turn off one specific light on the room, or yeah. But yeah, anyway, please enjoy this episode. See ya. For our last week's packs, we didn't have anything special. We only had one gem pack and one high seas pack. Since we lost the finals, we couldn't get a second pack. The high seas pack has nothing special, and the gem pack had 2 bluefin harpoons, funny enough. So we're going to be adding this and 10 euros for our budget for this week, and let's see what we can do with that. So a card has been on the chopping block for a while. It's been a brutal assault, since it basically does nothing. It's just a vanilla card, a 2 for 6. 2 for 6 is pretty good math in this deck, but since it does nothing, there are of course better cards to play. In this case, I'm going to be playing Amnesia. Amnesia is at least a disruption card that has some niche applications against heroes like, for example, Vynnset or Fang. Not really against the top heroes, but it's a better card to have than Brutal Assault if we play against those heroes.
Good. So once again at Mana Games in Berlin, we have a new setup for today, and hopefully everything looks fine. So let's open our participation packs. Number 1, no Riptide, Redfin Harpoon. Maybe this was from the better harpoons, or we maybe got something. Oh!
Hey!
Okay, that's nice.
Oh, it's foil as well.
Yeah, it's been foil. So I needed one of those. I actually need 2 more, but yeah, that's at least 1. Okay, so that's some nice refund for the Armory for today. Yeah, let's see. So in addition to also the entry packs, the store has a league system, and for some reason with the 8-0 from last month I got 2nd place, so I won 2 boosters. I'm going to be opening them as well, since both Armories were played with the Ira deck. Let's see if something special. Nothing special over here. 1 new Metro Grande, Baldur's Leg, and 1 more. Nothing special here. And yeah. Womp womp.
Round 1 is against Vynnset. Vynnset, we need to have an ebb and flow gameplay, meaning sometimes we need to block and sometimes we need to attack, especially since Vynnset plays some setup turns. Like when she makes a setup turn, then we attack, and when she attacks, we block. So that would be the ebb and flow from the Vynnset gameplay. Disruption can be great, but it depends on the quality of disruption. Meaning, if she has a important card in Arsenal, obviously we want to take it away.
Erase Phase can do some damage, and of course Amnesia that can blank a turn from Vynnset. And Vynnset can have some explosive damage, and let's not forget about the card that all the Rune Blades have access to in the form of Phase Purgatory. We also need to be playing around that, so we can just go 1-7 Arsenal Direct, especially since Vynnset can't block with the Phase Purgatory or the second attack and make us discard our card. Against Oscilio, we are not going to be running the Scar for Scar since Oscilio starts with less life than us, and we are going to be attacking Oscilio more than he is going to be attacking us, and he's going to be having like a comeback on mid game with his combo turn, or if he just managed to get like good value from his Galena flashes. Erase Phase and Neck Vengeance can be pretty good since they are disruption, and Neck Vengeance not so strong since he can play instant from Arsenal, but Erase Phase can completely blank his combo turns. So funnily enough, round 1 is against a Vynnset, meaning the amnesias we just got are going to be pretty good. So I lose the last roll and Vynnset goes first. It's what Vynnset wants to do. It starts by banishing one Widespread Annihilation and playing 2 Malefic Incantations and passes Arsenal. In that case, I already know the card in hand is probably going to be like a block card that she can Arsenal. But besides that, the start that Vynnset got is a pretty strong start. My hand isn't that great since I had 4 red cards in my hand. And when I was thinking about throwing my Neck Vengeance, since maybe I could just flick it to push it to 1, and Vynnset doesn't play that many D-Reacts, so I was just hoping. But since Vynnset threw the rendition that we knew about it from last turn, on my first attack, I thought maybe I could try to bait some armor block if I throw my Betraying Thorns at that moment, and it actually worked, meaning I got the value out from the Vynnset, from the block cards, and I also got the value from the Carapace for free, basically. So against Vynnset, you really need to be playing around a lot of cards. For example, in this case, for the Widespread Annihilation, a D-React in Arsenal is always good. And for cards like Succumb to Temptation and Call, we also need to be playing around it. In this case, I had 2 D-Reacts, so I was pretty safe. So I didn't need to prevent any of the cane damage in order to play around of the cards, since I can just freely block with my 2 reacts the Widespread. And that happens, and I just get rewarded at the moment since I basically steal one card from his hand. Maybe something that could be done better about the turn is blocking with the Dominion instead of the Banshee. In that case, like my opponent could have been setuping a Banshee for next turn, especially since he has already like 2 Malefic Incantations. He get like 2 Rune Chants, and basically he can play the Banshee regardless of what he banishes next turn. So we need to be playing around Phase Purgatory like against any other Rune Blade matchup. So I am not that confident throwing like this Betraying Thorns, but I just do it since I mean it's in my hand. I just use it, and then I throw Erase Phase. Erase Phase isn't that great against Vynnset, but sometimes just prevents when she wants to pay life, so you can like steal some value if in that case she doesn't get like 1 extra life from the card that heals, or an extra Rune Chant from Deadly Whale. Another Vynnset just banishes a Shadow Puppetry, and you can see if the Vynnset would have banished the Banshee last turn, then she would have like a 1 card 10 play this turn. That also prepares for next turn and like kind of snowballs, but due to that misplay, now like she just passes turn this turn. Vynnset gets to set up a little bit more, playing now the next Malefic Incantation and banish an Eulocan Eulogy. So the Eulocan Eulogy gives Vynnset basically access to the Eloquence token, and that with some of like the non-attacks that you can play instant, it can give you like go again in a pinch. And since it's like not really interactive, if Vynnset like has paid life or something, then that could be like a little bit troublesome. But it's a bit hard to do, and it requires some setup.
I played Neck Vengeance, and it's always funny to see when the opponents like forget about the kind of scar reps, then I can push it to 8. I figured out if Vynnset had like the block card that prevents one, she would have throw it at the sword when I attack first to prevent like that 1 damage. Or maybe she would just like block 4 with it. Like if I have more follow up. Since she has like a good amount of rune chance, she doesn't really need like the extra rune chance from the prevention effect. But yeah, like I punish her again. But we need to be careful since some Vynnsets run like the D-React that costs 1 less for his rune chant. Reduced to rune chant, I think its name. And since Vynnset has rune chance, that it's basically a free D-React. So we just need like to watch out for that, since we know if we lose our weapon, we are in a position where we're behind. So Vynnset just does like the next prep turn. Since Vynnset does a lot of prep turns against certain decks, just banishes a Cool and Arsenal as a Revel in Runeblood. The Revel in Runeblood basically enables 2 Rune Gate turns, and the Cool just like some hand rip. I have like a cool turn with the Vengeance Never Rest. He doesn't really block the first one, so I get like to do like the cool thing where I banish it. I attack with the sword again, and I attack with it again, and then I can attack with it again. But I had a Sick Vengeance that attacks with 4, and we all know that 4 is greater than 3. So I just play the Sick Vengeance instead of throwing like the Enact Vengeance again, and heal through life with the Sigil, coming back to 40 life, and Vynnset being an 80 life, being like fairly behind at this point. Vynnset plays one of the Annihilation cards that banish the top card of the deck with 5 rune chance. I know Vynnset has the call, so I really need to prevent like this rune chance. And if I prevent this rune chance and block, I don't really have a turn, so I just like commit everything to block. Sadly, because the Vynnset played the Map Skies, meaning on hit create 3 rune chance. I need to block this in fully, otherwise I wouldn't really care about it. And because I have like the race phase and amnesia, I need to use my Pawns Imposter to block extra. And Vynnset plays like the Revel in Runeblood and swings the Flail. We need to remember that when you play Revel in Runeblood, all the rune chants get popped at the end of the turn. So I need like to remind him of like that trigger, especially since against Vynnset it's fairly important that Vynnset doesn't start with like at least 1 rune chant, since with 1 rune chant like the 2 cost cards are enabled at that point. After that we just get like trading some value. The Oasis are usually fairly nice against Vynnset, but other times they can come like a bit bricky. So I try to put one of them Arsenal, and like setup is the same thing with like the reacts. Just put them in Arsenal and set up and wait until Vynnset like can't really do something about it. So at this point of the game, I have been playing around the call for a while. So the call has just been rotting in the banish from Vynnset and making some blood debt. So I'm 35 life, Vynnset is at 13 life, and still prepping like for her next turn. Goes down to 10 from the blood depth. And I was thinking what to throw, if I want to throw my Neck Vengeance, or if I want to play this flying kick. So basically, if I go for the line with the flying kick and the tiger, I am able to do like 2 more damage. Since I have like the tiger, the pawn and chi, and finishing the flank kick, I thought if I do that, I can threaten exactly lethal as a +1 this round. So the Vynnset would have to block, and she has like to give me a cast from hand, or I can just like try to take the Arsenal. But since she already has like enough rune chance, she can actually give me just like 3 cards, and just like give me the Arsenal. So now she has like double rune gate turn, and I just have to be playing around like the hand rips. In this case, I am forced like to pitch the Oasis Respite, since I want to prevent like all the rune chants. Otherwise, when the combat chain closes, like my hands get ripped. And there it comes, the Reveling Runeblood from the prep turn, and a Deadly Delight is just healing the Vynnset a little bit, but not enough, especially since the call is taking like again some blood depth. So with that play, I lost all my tempo, and the Vynnset like can start throwing some damage. But I know if I play around that call in her banish, unless she's willing to pay like one life when she plays a shadow card in order to make one rune shot unpreventable, uh, that call is going like to just cost her the game. And even if she like pays one life, that's going to be also one life less. And if we manage like to have like a 2 card hand, then like the game would be immediately over, since Vincent would need to give me like at least 3 to 4 cards in order to block my attacks. And if she gives me 3 to 4 cards, she can really play, and then I have like full tempo back, and I just end the game from that point. So Synindra, as we talked before, Synindra is a bad matchup for us, since she has like a lot of damage and we don't have a lot of disruption. Does a lot of pings and evasive damage, and disruption is really good against her. We are now better positioned as back in episode 2, when I had only my Enact Vengeances, but now I have the race phase. It's probably not enough in order to disrupt properly a Synindra, but it is what it is, and that's what we have. This is going to be our sideboard against Synindra. Going to be playing, of course, the race phases and all the disruption we can, just to get some value. We're going to be playing the Calm Embraces, 2 Calm Embraces instead of 2 Sigils, since we don't want that many non-blocks in our deck, so we can just try to block Synindra and play as efficient as we can. Now against Synindra, this is a rematch from the week 2. That game, I remember Synindra bricked a lot, so let's see how this game ends. So Synindra wins a Tyro, she decides to go first. I guess she wanted to chip some damage, filter the hand, and just overall see what happens. I had the Scar for Scar, and I ate like the flick. So in theory that would be pretty good, but sadly I don't have like a great hand. So I just throw the Scar of the Bittering Thorns at my Edge of Autumn, arsenaling, so I kinda remember right now. And yeah, like I mean, I could have started at 40 and just throw the Scar for Scar like as a finisher, so it didn't really need to have go again at this point. Since Synindra gave me 2 out of the dragons that turn, I knew she didn't have like a way to generate fealty or like to make the cast reliably draconic, and that I noticed that after that when she played like the Oath, I knew the turn was going to be like rather a weak turn, since the Oath is a really good starter, but it restricts you a lot. If you have fealties, then you're like in a really tough position. And something interesting happening after this, when the Synindra plays the brand new Sineclo and flicked the dagger, the second attack, where I didn't blocked. So in that case, I thought Synindra really wanted like the resource from the chest, like to play a 1-cost card. So I played the Calming Breeze that I arsenal last turn, and that was proven to be like backbreaking for Synindra, since that basically blanked her follow-up and left her daggerless for the next turn. And now, since I blanked Syndra's turn, I have 4 cards in my hand and I can do whatever I want. So I just start singing with my Edge of Autumn into a Seek Vengeance, and as we know, Synindra doesn't really play a lot of directs, so I just activate my kind of Scarabs to get basically a 0 for 6, and finishing up with an Erase Phase. Erase Phase is really backbreaking, especially when Synindra has like no fealties, meaning she doesn't have like a lot of plays, and the daggers get really hard to get back. And this turn was especially backbreaking since I got the mask and the shoes from Synindra, getting like a huge equipment advantage. And from now on, I don't really need to worry if Synindra wants like to trigger the mask. Now the Synindra has like 3 cards in hand, and I know that either the hand must be a lot of non-blocking cards, or just like generally a bad hand, and she just gets like the 3 into 3, throwing some head jabs and a rabble. I blocked the second one, especially since I know. I mean, even if the Synindra would have like the mask, blocking the second one would be like the best thing because she doesn't have like daggers to flick, so I can just block it that anyway. And then comes like the Draconic Rabble and getting the daggers back and flicking a dagger to get a resource. And now we can see like the card that gets played from Arsenal. It was a take a tempo, so it would have been live last turn if I hadn't played my Calming Breeze. So that Calming Breeze was in fact really backbreaking since we like prevented the dagger recursion and the take the tempo. But now the new chess piece we got last episode comes to play, making a clean block out of this take the tempo, just blocking 5 on equipment, really nice value. Now our follow up is just 3 cards, 14 damage. That's honestly really nice, some really nice numbers. And Synindra has like another oath turn, so without the fealty, so we know it's not going to be like that strong. I look at my hand and I want the pouncing paws, so I just block them like for just to get the block out and to get to be played next turn. So I get like my Tiger and have like another flying kick, dealing 9 damage with 2 cards, which is like pretty nice. And I have just a massive life lead at this point. Synindra has kept a full grip, and each time a ninja keeps like 5 cards, we always know it can be getting a little bit scary. Luckily for us, I had a lot of direct. So I had started a Singulo on his Ravel and then a Flick Flag on his Devotion. I lose like the value from the Flick Flag since he comes with a pain in the backside, and I just like block 5 on that. Yeah, not really like the most effective thing to do, and he also has Art of Dragonfire. Funnily enough, he actually forgot about his fealty out of the Devotion card, but was fairly irrelevant since like next turn he had a brand new Sineclo. Yeah, my turn wasn't like that strong. I just had a Bittering Thorns and my Edge of Autumn. Like that's basically lethal against him, and I take like a couple of cards away, and he just has like the line with the Art of Dragonfire, pushing like 14 damage out of 3 cards, like the same kind of thing I was doing like a couple of turns ago, which is like fairly funny when the ninjas have such large numbers. But my life lead like really helped me with that, and now I just have like the Cyrus of the Safe Harbor, and that with that I just get back into the game, and finish the game with that, since when he's at 1 he always would need like at least between 1 and 3 cards to block to not die, and if Synindra can only play with 1 card, then that's not really a play you want to do. For Oscilio, Gonna Flash is a key card. A lot of the big turns from Oscilio have a Gonna Flash. Gonna Flash procedure is, for example, 4 damage into heal 3 into regain the Gonna Flash, meaning the Oscilio has like 7 value of 1 card. That's honestly really good numbers. The Arsenal Disruption can be fairly tricky against Oscilio, since Oscilio plays a lot of instants. He could be able to play just an instant from the Arsenal when we are attacking his Arsenal, and the combo turns can turn the tides of the game, since he pushes so much damage and can end up on Disruption in the form of Mind Wrap, or simply more follow-up in the form of Etching of Arcana. Against Oscilio, we are not going to be running the Scar for Scar, since Oscilio starts with less life than us, and
we are going to be attacking Oscilio more than he is going to be attacking us, and he's going to be having like a comeback on mid game with his combo turn, or if he just managed to get like good value from his Galena flashes. Erase Phase and Neck Vengeance can be pretty good since they are disruption, and Neck Vengeance not so strong since he can play instant from Arsenal, but Erase Phase can completely blank his combo turns. Now against Oscilio. Oscilio, I think it's a new matchup that we haven't played against this series. Oscilio goes first and plays an accurate spell that deals 3 damage. I only had AB2 and I had Oasis. I didn't really want to use Oasis on that, but I also didn't really want to waste the Oasis, so I just played the Oasis and played a Sigil, pitching my Neck Vengeance over my Sick Vengeance since I play like more finishers, and Arsenal Disruption is not that reliable like Oscilio, since sometimes he can just park a Sigil his Arsenal and play it in response to my. So some Oscilios play direct, and as long as I don't know if my opponent is like willing to play direct, I don't want to be that aggressive with my Okana Skyraps. So that's why when my opponent blocks 2 on this Sick Vengeance, I know maybe there is a possibility he has a direct. So if I activate my Okana Skyraps, he can just like play his direct and block 6 on my 6 power attack. Yeah, so we got another finisher in the form of like the Sirens, so trading the Neck Vengeance last turn was better. So like keeping the Sick Vengeance. I chose to throw the Sirens over the Race Phase this turn, because if the Oscilio has already blocked my Sick Vengeance and he maybe has a direct, meaning his turn won't be like that impressive, so I can disrupt him with my Erase Phase like a couple of turns later. So he plays a Comet Storm Shock. I can sadly only prevent 1 damage since I have like 1 red card and I want to keep the rest of my hands, so I play a Bittering Thorns. I was a bit troubled in what card to play at this moment, either the Race Phase or my Neck Vengeance. I think in hindsight probably the Neck Vengeance would be like the better play, since if my opponent like already blocked with a card, and then maybe he just like doesn't really want to combat like the full hand, but the card was like a Golden Flash, and he also blocked with the Grief, so I was like a bit confused on what my opponent like wanted to do. He ends up blocking like the Erase Phase with all his equipment and just throwing a Blast to Oblivion. I think that was like a really big misplay from Oscilio, since if I hit him and he like just wants to play the Blast, and it's like whatever, he doesn't really care about being hit, and he probably could have like used his equipment for later. So my hand was just like a nothing burger. I had to overblock the Blast to Oblivion at the end, so it was like still not that great value. And I have like back-to-back Erase Phases, so I know I'm going to be chilling, but he hasn't taken like a lot of damage, and I know that Oscilio can do like 24 damage plus in 1 turn, so I need to be like really careful if the turn that I have like no disruption, he has his combo turn. But luckily for me, he already blocked with his with one of his Galena Flash, so maybe that's good for me. So now that I finally played the Neck Vengeance from my arsenal, it happened exactly the thing I mentioned before, that Oscilio can dodge Arsenal Disruption sometimes, especially if he has like an instant. So he just play his CLF from the arsenal and says like no blocks. Now he plays his like Electromagneticalism and the card that like gets plus for each sigil, and I can't really block that, so I just let it be, you know. I like my hand and I wanted to play my hand, so I had the Amnesia, and it's funny because Amnesia has like some interesting applications against Oscilio, especially against the sigils. So if I hit with Amnesia, his sigils are
shutdown, so Voltaire, like, he needs to pay for Voltaire. But there are also like a couple of drawbacks, especially if I have like Amulet of Echoes, meaning my Amnesia would turn off the Amulet of Echoes, and that could be like a little bit problematic. So after a break of mine where I had like only red cards and I just like play as Sirens for nothing, um, my opponent keeps like his full hand, and I was trying to figure out what he was going to do, especially when he plays his common storm. I thought he just wanted to play like a Siege of Brilliance and pass turn. So I just like prevented one with the card that I had like extra, and after that he plays a blink and the mind wrap. So I was like in a tough position there, so I needed like to pitch again just to prevent the mind wrap surge effect. So like now that I had like to pitch an extra card, I couldn't do like the turn I wanted to do. It was like Swing Edge of Autumn, play my Amulet of Echoes, and Swing of Sirens. But since I had a sigil in my arsenal, I could just play the Amulet of Echoes and play the sigil, and after the Sirens pass. The Amulet of Echoes really seals the deal against Oscilio, especially when he's in a position when he needs to combo in order like to close the game. And since he's only at 12 life, so when he plays like multiple Skull and a Flash, I can trigger the Amulet of Echoes at any time for the rest of the turn, meaning he has to discard 2 cards, so he can't really play a lot of cards for the rest of the turn, basically sealing the deal. And it's honestly really funny to me how he get like instantly punished for me playing the Amulet of Echoes, since he had like the Golden Flash and he could have like combo the turn after. Yeah, after that I just closed the game with like some extra value that I had, and since he can't like do a comeback combo turn, he just eventually dies with my attack. So now we have finals. This is the 5th finals we play in a row. Now this time against Synindra. To the 2nd time in this event, this Armory. Synindra wins the die roll and makes me go first. I mean, it's okay. I would like to. I prefer to go second, since like I can do a bit more if I go second, especially since I have like the tempo. I can throw some disruptions or something. Yeah. So now he starts with an oath. Since I know the oath gives him like some limitations to his turn, so I won't be seeing like a snatch unless there is like a brand of Cyndaquil or something like that. But so I'm like chilling with that. He pushes me to lower life, so I have like the Scar for Scar online, and I have a Fluster Fist, so that means 2 card 9, which is like really cool value. He blocks 2 cards, meaning his turn isn't going to be like that great, which at the end it isn't. He just attacks for 1 and then throws another attack for 4. I just block as much as I can. He flicks and passes the turn. My turn is like that awesome. I just throw like an Amnesia, and he gets like to keep a full grip. So as we know, it's always scary when Synindra has like a full grip. But it isn't that bad, since he has like no starter, so he needs like to pitch a whole card for the dagger in order to get the starter. Maybe like a small misplay from my part is sometimes if he like starts with dagger, he really wants to get like the resource from the chest as well, since sometimes he has like 1 cost attacks. So maybe blocking with my Pouncing Paws on the dagger would have been like a bit smart, depending on like what else he has, but I think it wouldn't have done like that much. At the end, he plays like two of the devotion thingies, and he gets like 2 fealties and finishes with like another card, noise 0 for 4, and like the fealties are fairly scary, since if he has fealties, cards like Erase Face aren't that great. So my hand wasn't that great, so I needed to block it all. And now the fealties like start turning some profits, since now he can play like a little bit more greedy with like non-draconic cards just to make the chains wider and have easier access to the daggers. So I swing with my race face, which usually it's really backbreaking for Synindra, but since Synindra has a good amount of fealties, she can just say no blocks, crack all the fealties she wants, and still do some things, because Erase Phase has the text he just loses, but it doesn't set it can't gain. So for example, Amnesia says loses and can gain like names. So in that case, Erase Phase is like a bit different. And he just starts with like a massive turn with Brand of Sinaclaw and the Wrath of Retribution. I don't know if this would be like a big misplay of my part. I wanted to get like more value from my Blazing Joroi. It just like for example blocking a Lava Burst for 5 or something like that, and negating like a mass trigger. But I play like a little bit greedy, so I just blocked 3 on this attack, hoping like to use my Blazing Joroi to block another thing. But he has the Exposed, and yeah, the Exposed really screwed me over at this moment. Since that point I needed like to play the Calming Breeze I had in my arsenal, just like to not get like so much damage. And we actually forgot about the Erase Phase hit, meaning he couldn't have like activated the Synindra and use like his Dragon Flight Path, since he needs like to target a Draconic card. Yeah, I think that was like 2 more damage that I shouldn't have taken, I think. We rewinded a little bit, but not that much. So yeah, maybe there was like some misplay over there, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I have just Between Thorns into Sirens, dealing 12 damage and healing 1. Starting value is honestly not that bad, but I'm already like fairly behind in life, and if we only throw damage, then Synindra can just easily say no blocks and keep throwing some stuff. So there has like a Oath turn, and I had to block with all my hand because my hand wasn't like great, and we're just falling way behind, since like in the matchup against Synindra we really need to have like gas all the moments, like disruption and damage. But if I don't have like a lot of disruption and damage, then the matchup isn't like that good. Yeah, so Synindra just uses her life to kill us. It's honestly a bit of a shame that I wasn't able to get any value out of the Blazing Joroi. I really wanted to block like a Lava Burst or something like that. Maybe the best moment to use it would be by the Wrath of Retribution, since in that case I can save my Calming Breeze for another turn, and maybe that would have like help me. Maybe I can get like another blowout like last time. But yeah, at the end I just lose, still with the full Joroi block, and yeah, it's honestly a shame. A bit sad for losing like yet another finals in a row, but I think the deck is fairly strong how it is right now.
So, back home from the Armory, it's a bit of a shame that I wasn't able to finish 4-0 once again. The last new matchup was fairly tough, and I didn't got the full value from my Blazing Joroi as I would like it to have. Maybe like a couple of misplays and some weird hands. But otherwise, I'm pretty happy with how the deck is going. Also had a nice pull in the booster. So yeah, I see a bright future for the next episodes. I'm also really excited that I managed to up the production value, and now I'm having like more clear field. The life is also visible all the time. The only thing that's disturbing me a little bit is the glare, but there's not much I can do about it, since that it's more depending on the lights and where I can sit down, especially since I need to put the charger. I'm restricted near a plug, so yeah, maybe I think something about it. Maybe I can fix it somehow, but for the moment I'm going to be having a bit of glare if I can't get rid of it. But thank you for watching this week, and I see you next week.